Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Nikki here, and today I have a card for you I made with the November box from the Hedgehog Hollow. This month's box features kindred stamps, and as you can see, this is a really cute stamp set. It's got a gingerbread house there, and it's got a bunch of things that you can decorate it with. I'm going to do a little bit of no-line coloring today. So right now my favorite ink for doing some no-line coloring is the Hero Hearts Hero Hues in white. It's a dye ink, so essentially it's not opaque like a pigment ink usually is, but what it does do is it kind of just makes a shadow on the paper. So you can see where to color, but the lines don't show at all. So I already have the design set in my MISTI the way I want it. So what I'm going to do is with my stamps, I'm going to line it up and just go ahead and stamp the entire design. I'm going to fast forward through here because you can't see what I'm stamping anyway, not on camera. But in real life, you can see the lines. I think the only part that you can see right there now is the very tip of the chimney. And that's because there was a little bit of black ink left on my stamp from when I was laying out my design. But that's okay because you're not going to see it when I'm finished coloring. So that design is completely stamped. I don't know if you can see it very well here. I'm going to tip it back and forth a little bit, but you can kind of make out where the lines are. You can see it a lot better in real life. And it also helps if you have some good lighting as well, because basically what you're doing is that you're looking at the shine that's going along the side of the paper as you're coloring, and that's how you can tell where the lines are. So I'm going to go ahead and start in on the coloring here. I decided to pick out my colors first. For the gingerbread, I'm probably going to use these two right here. That's the most gingerbready color, and just do some of the shading with the E59. And I'm going to speed up this part of the video as well because, to tell the truth, it took about an hour to get this all colored. And I didn't think you wanted to sit around and watch me color for an hour. You're welcome. So I'm just going to speed through this, and I think it's only going to take about 4 minutes to get all the way through here. But you can see how I'm spinning my card around a little bit, well, my card front around a little bit, so I can see where the lines are. And I started to color. You know, the traditional way where you just work from one end to the other with your Copic marker. But I found that that wasn't really working out for me there because my hand was creating a bit of a shadow. So what I did is that I did go around and do an outline, which is usually a no-no with Copic markers. But for this particular project, you're not going to see a whole lot of it because around the outlines, we're going to do a lot of shading. So... And I'm doing the shading here. I think this is E25, and I did the first coat of color with E23. Now I'm going to keep switching back and forth between those and doing a lot of blending. And then I'm going to use the darkest color, the E59, to just really get those little shadowed areas super deep. For the peppermint on top, I went and used R22 for the lighter red and R24 for the darker red. And full disclosure here, after I went and finished up doing all this coloring, I really wanted a shiny candy. So I stamped it on a separate piece of paper. I recolored it, and I popped it up on my card with a foam square, and I did some Nuvo crystal glaze to make it shiny. And I used that on the gumdrops as well. And I also used it on the snowflakes that I stamped. The snowflakes that I stamp at the end, I did that with Hero Art Shadow ink in soft stone. I like that because it's a really nice color for snow. But I found that it didn't really show up a whole lot on my card. So I did go ahead and put little dots of the crystal glaze on them so they would show up a little better, and you know, it matches with the shine and everything. Right now when I'm doing the color here, I'm starting in on the door. I did do some stripes on there because it just looked a little too plain as I did it with the light color, the G14. I put some stripes on there so it looked a little more like a beadboard, and I did some shading around the door. Now the yellow I'm using there, I believe that's Y14 and, I'm sorry, Y13 and Y17. I really like that color combination for pretty much any type of yellow around Christmas time. It's just a good, it's a nice yellow and it's a good golden yellow. So it tends to show up real well on white cardstock. Now for the snow and everything around the top of the gingerbread, I wanted something that looked kind of more like icing. And I don't know, I just couldn't quite get that. So I was using my C1 and C3 to make little swirls and things like that. But I decided afterwards that I wanted something a little more opaque on there. I did some accents with a Uni-ball Signo pen. That's an opaque ink as well. And I went around the edges of the door. I went around the bottoms of the windows and along the bottom of the right around where the gumdrops are. And then I used the glitter accents that came in the box to put my little doorknob on there. And that stuff is really good. I love it. It is so glittery. It has lots of sparkle. I'm going to go ahead and use the red cardstock that came in the box as well. Now I trimmed down the one that I did my coloring on to 5 1/4 by 4, so it would fit right on here. And I ended up trimming the 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 red, 1/8 of an inch all the way around, so the card base would show a little tiny bit. Now I had a couple of mistakes made right here, and a good way to get rid of mistakes is you carefully scrape at them with a craft knife, and then using an eraser you gently erase around where you scraped, and it takes off any stray ink marks that you had there. Unfortunately, I got a whole bunch of it all over my fingers as I was coloring, and I just wasn't paying attention, so I touched a couple of places. Okay, so that's there. And like I said, I decided I was going to do something a little more opaque for the icing on the roof of the gingerbread house. So what I did is I actually got off camera, I got a paintbrush and some PH Martin's pen white, and I painted over the icing part on the top of the gingerbread house. It kind of has a finish that looks like royal icing, so I absolutely love the way it came out. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment here. Now I'm going to do that with VersaFine Onyx Black. That's my favorite for doing sentiments because it comes out so nice and clear. So I just need to ink up my stamp here and press down. And I just want to check and make sure I don't need another round of that, but I think I do. There we go. Okay, and like I said off camera, I put some snowflakes on there and I finished up with a pen white along the top. And that's it for today. Links for everything I used to create this project are in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe for more crafty goodness, and thanks for watching.